So when I tell you, a lot of people have asked me to read Nicki Minaj's birth chart and to look at her areas of relationship with her husband because they feel that there is a possibility that they could be separating. I'm not quite sure why, because I don't follow Nicki Minaj like that, but I will definitely look at her chart and tell you what I see. And I've read her chart numerous times, and I do think that Nicki Minaj has a lot of pride, and she does intentionally wants to stay with Kenneth, but I do think that he has a lot of conflict in certain areas that she probably is feeling almost like, in some ways, it's kind of like a controlling manner, but he also sees the benefit of being with her, so he does give her a lot of control, but he has a lot of past conflicts that are continuing to kind of come back up in the spotlight, and a lot of her fans know this and have addressed this. And I feel like for the majority of her fans who have reached out to me are hoping that they are splitting up. And I'm not really sure what has triggered this and why her fans are thinking this, but let's get into her chart. So Nicki Minaj is a Sagittarius sun, and she has a Aquarius ascendant, and she is a Virgo moon at 27 degrees. Her dominant planets are basically Sagittarius, Scorpio, Aquarius, Jupiter, and Uranus, and Pluto. Also, her dominant houses are her 10th house, which is seen as a masculine house, also seen as the career house, her 11th house, and I think one of the reasons why so many people love her is because of that dominance in the 11th house, and also her 8th house. There is a lot of secrets with the 8th house, and there's also a lot of hidden agendas and areas that could be seen as some areas where she might use her sexuality, and also the areas of mystery behind her. And I do think when we are talking about the 8th house, we also have to talk about the area of secrets and what these secrets are. Some of them have played out right before us, as recently she got arrested in Amsterdam, but then was later released while she was on tour. And a lot of people have always speculated about certain usage of certain substances, but I think we know for a fact that she uses substances. One of the biggest things that I want to talk about when we are looking at her chart right now, and for the areas of current transits and aspects that could have a direct effect on her relationship, is the transitioning Saturn is creating a direct square with her natal sun. So we see a lot of areas of responsibility really speaking to her, in the areas of constriction with responsibilities on the inner self and the area of self. And for somebody who is in the limelight and has been very ego-driven and been successful, this is a time that she's going to have to do a realization, and actually might, after this tour, kind of take a break. And I honestly think that she needs to do some mental clearing, and she needs to work on some areas of inner self that has nothing to do with the entertainment business. So also her transitioning Uranus, whatever you want to call it, is creating a conjunction with her natal Chiron. And this energy to me feels like a strong element that she needs to look at in areas of moving forward in a spontaneous way towards her healing journey. Does that include letting go of Kenneth and old possible habits that could be diluting the fact that she still has not been able to overcome certain obstacles in her life? Possibly, because it does feel sudden, and it also feels like if this healing journey isn't going to start to take place soon, then something else is going to happen. And the transitioning Chiron, which is currently in Aries, is also creating a trine with her Venus, with her natal Venus, which is usually, is in Sagittarius. That's what she was born with. A Venus in Sagittarius is her natal Venus. But this is actually seen as a good aspect for her. Do I think that they could possibly be having some difficulties in their relationship? Yes. And either they're going to heal as a couple or she's going to have to remove herself from that situation. Also, I want to focus on the transitioning of Pluto, which is in Aquarius, and that is her ascendant, is creating a strong square with her natal Saturn, which traditionally is in Scorpio, but this time Saturn is in Pisces. So I think she is going to have like a spiritual, almost like come to reality type moment where she is going to be forced to maybe create a complete transformation where possibly her career or her relationship has completely ended in some spaces. And what's interesting about this is more aimed towards her second house right there. But also when we look at her fourth house, which is a family house, we see that Uranus is creating a opposition with her natal Jupiter, and this can mean an area of sudden departures or somebody leaving. It could possibly be her or it could be Kenneth, but somebody definitely leaving from the family house is a huge possibility. I feel like this could occur by 2026. So I just want to give you guys the update that you've been asking for on what I think about her and Kenneth, but there's definitely going to be some complications with the career and with the family house. So let's look and hope for the best instead of the worst. I'm not sure what the best is. That's for you guys to judge.